Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So now we will begin with our group case study presentations. For our first case study for chapter 17, which is the case study about spicing up Walmart. In this case study, we can see that it talks about how at first Walmart provides the best low price that they can provide to the customer, because at that time customer defines value as low price. Year by year, the mindset of the customer change as the value being defined as convenient. Walmart has been left behind. So because of that, Macmillan, the CEO of Walmart, enacted a number of changes, which is number one, he announces the increases of minimum wage of the employees. Second, he asks and pays more attention on the feedback of the customer. And third, he targets that Walmart's web will bring a big changes by offering more items and then pick-up options and also ways to meet the needs and the demands, like an online grocery ordering service. So to answer the first question, there are basically two key factors that prompted to the Walmart's changes, which is competitions and also technology. First key factor is competition. In this competition, nationwide dollar store chains often have lower price compared to Walmart. So customers' mindsets are now changes to the value terms that been defined into customer opt for company that not only offers lower price but also offers conveniences in their process of services in delivering and accepting the product. The second key factors that make Walmart changes is technology. Walmart's online platform has currently, from the past year, from the previous one, they offer bad services where it is not convenient for the customer to go to their website and navigate there and find what they wanted. Their competitors, Amazon or their websites, Amazon.com, they have a really great technology there. So the second question from our discussion, which is the first one, is more motivated employees. The Walmart is trying to motivate their employees in order to have a quality-oriented service, so that their customer will satisfy with their services. The second one is Walmart maybe create a happier employees and more suiting and also welcoming atmosphere. This is for more into their physical store. And the last effects, a more organized Walmart's web with better online services. For the third question, we need to describe how Macmillan acted as a change agent in this situation. So we list out points on how Macmillan act as a change agent. So the first one, Macmillan listened to the employees' feedback and also their customers' perceptions about their company. So any recurring issues that happen in the future or in the meantime, he will take into account so that they can come up with solutions, and they will cater this issue so that it will be resolved and they will satisfy their customer, and it will eliminate the negative perception. The next main point is he recognized the company's reputation is much important in order to build the customer trust. He need to take into considerations what people think about the company. The next main point that how the Macmillan act as a change agent is he instantly accommodating the changes for their company in order to meet the customers' preferences and expectations. They need to meet the customers' expectations by improve their effectiveness and also efficiencies of their Walmart's web. The last main point is he improves the organization's cultures and also motivations, where he treats the employees well and hears what their feedbacks and what is their concerns. He also increased the employees' minimum wage. As what I said before, he increased this in order to motivate their employees. And also, he changed the dress code that the employee needs to wear at the physical store in order to have a more relaxed and comfortable work environment. Okay, next, we move to the second case study, which is lonely employees. Loneliness can affect motivations, OCB, and turnover. Also, it can contribute to critical health problems, cognitive decline, and also early death. How severe is this loneliness effect? Also, in the study, it shows that having more power can reduce loneliness, as if you being a leader, you will communicate with your team members or your co-workers, your subordinates. So in order to combat with loneliness, it all started with ourselves. First question, what made the Japanese electronics industry initially successful? In the 1960s, there are many Japanese families that aim to obtain these trade-divine appliances. While in the late 1990s, as the demand was peaking and the value of yen also declined, but then it does not last long. Where in the 2005 until 2008, there is a big environment changes where the yen value increased. So when the yen value increased, the price of everything basically high. So the demand for this are decreasing. So to answer the next question, as in the volatile work environment, there's an existence of refusal. For example, the examples of resistance is habit. People with a strong build habit may find it very difficult or hard to get rid of this habit. So the difficulty to change their habits or to get rid of certain habits, it will make it difficult for that certain people communicate with the new team workers or their teammates that is not particularly similar with them. So the second question is, who do you think this will be a problem to the manager? So the manager needs to perform to make the employee to perform a variety of tasks in order to ensure that the company will sustain and increase its productivity and efficiency. He needs to make sure that that particular employee will not affect the entire company performance. So he needs to really focus or pay attention on this particular on. For the last question, society here play a role where the society itself bring a judgmental society. This judgmental society should not enter corporate world, as judgmental society lacks of openness, making it hard to accept any difference in the society. So as for example, the Malay traditions in the past, where our old folks, they tend to say that women are not meant to work, they are meant to just being at the kitchen. This judgmental society perception should not enter the worlds of the corporations.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will present chapter 18, which is about conflict and negotiation. For case incident 1, disorderly conflict is about marquee design company that have convert one floor of their office to an open plan with no walls between workers, because they want to eliminate the boundary and want to enhance the creativity among the workers. But Peter and Matt always arguing with each other since then, because they have a different taste and perspective, which is Peter love to have his desk neat and clean, but Matt love to have his things in his table so that he can work. The tension made between them can mark the underhanded behavior against their co-workers. To answer the question 1, the different perspective that Peter and Matt has is the major reason for this conflict to happen. While Peter loves to keep his things neat and clean, and Matt should keep all his things in his table so that he can do his work. Before before the company make the change, they have a good relationship. So a person who having a different perspective cannot work together, and this lead to an open conflict in the office. To answer the question 2, this issue is not worth to create the conflict because Peter and Matt have their own talents. By having an open discussion to discuss on the conflict arise, Matt and Peter can collaborate together in any upcoming project that may give good result. As in the past, their work are being acknowledged as a good collaboration, where Peter's creative inspiration being gone through by Matt to look into details, and he organized the given ideas to come up with the great masterpiece. For the answer to question 3, in order to create an active problem-solving discussion, the third-party roles need to be involved. The third-party roles is as the peacemaker, which is like mediator, arbitrator, and conciliator. They need to help to do integrative bargaining to create a win-win situation between Peter and Matt. And the most effective change that they can do is to rearrange the position of their table so that both tables are far away from each other. So while they want to do their tasks, they will not see each other's. Despite that, issue that cannot be resolved is the fact that the both of them have a different styles and preference. Next, for the case incident 2, twin case rubber rooms and collective bargaining is about pros and cons of labor unions. The pros of labor unions is to protect collective interests of workers, and cons of labor unions is to give opportunity for unreasonable employment negotiation. It makes it hard for the employer to fire their employees. To answer the question 1, yes, we agree that labor management negotiations are more distributive than integrative. This is because both parties aim to maximize their personal benefits. For example, workers strive to negotiate for minimum wage as high as possible. In contrast, the management wants to allocate the resource efficiently and cut costs as low as possible. In response to that, workers and management make negotiations that is closer to their goals rather than adjusting to the counterpart's interests. To answer the question 2, the management and administration are responsible to act according to the term and never try to violate the terms once they agree to the unreasonable agreement. In our opinion, the reason why the management team decide to agree is because the unions are powerful organization as it consists of a large number of members in the specific industries. Lastly, for the question 3, we will advise the union and management representative to analyze the conflicts that occur between the two parties. The parties also need to differentiate between distributive or integrative bargaining. We will use a 5-step of a negotiating process, which is preparation and planning, define ground rules, to clarify, amplify, and justify their proposal and demands, use bargaining and problem solving, and lastly, use the formal contract.